In this episode of Deploy on Friday, talk a little bit about Argo CD 3.0. Yes, it's out. Go through the features there. Talk about our upcoming event at KubeCon EU and ArgoCon, and talk a little bit about OctoLint, a really cool CLI tool. All this and more on the next edition of Deploy on Friday. Hey, it's Friday, which means it's time to deploy. I just got back from an offsite with the engineering team up in Noosa, Australia. It's a little bit further north of Brisbane. Jim and I were there, but unfortunately, Jim is traveling today, so he's not able to make it to today's show. That's okay. We will continue on without him. So taking a look at the latest news, we have a blog post here from Regina, who's a member of the OSS team here at Octopus Deploy. This is entitled Announcing Argo CD v3, Small but Mighty. So lots of really good features in this latest release of Argo, which is great to see. So Argo CD has a new update. It is a little bit smaller than what you typically see, but there are some important changes here. So this update is mostly focused around simplifying best practices, tightening security, and eliminating some outdated configurations. So first up here, we have removal of support for legacy Argo CD CM repository configs. So if you've been managing these repository configurations via Argo CD CM, it's time to move on. This is a legacy method that's been depreciated in favor of more secure and standardized approach. The old system basically lacked flexibility and required extra manual steps. So this change will help teams manage repositories more efficiently. Next up, we have enabling fine-grained update, delete, RBAC enforcement by default. So this is basically stronger security with granular RBAC controls. And as always, security is a top concern. So Argo CD 3.0 is making some fine-grained rollback settings the default. So this means teams can have better control over who can update and delete applications, and that basically reduces the risk of accidental or unauthorized changes. We also have here making apply nested selectors true, the default and only option for matrix merge generators. So this is basically cleaning up our generator settings in Argo CD. If you use matrix or merge generators, you'll see a small but a significant change, which is now this default, and this streamlines the behavior and reduces any inconsistencies you have in your configurations. Having an opinion on secrets, while we maintained an unopinionated regarding secret management with Argo CD since day one, maintainability and security lessons learned surfaced the need to be better aligned with the industry in this, locking down the in-cluster configuration. And so is another feature here. These and other features as well are all listed in this blog post by Regina. And so definitely something worth checking out, which is awesome to see. Argo CD 3.0, small but mighty. Excellent. We also have a survey that's currently in market. We would love to hear your opinions on a Argo CD and Octopus Deploy integration. So this is a type form we have set up, and you can check this out and let us know what you think. It takes about 5 minutes. We're asking a few questions of some of the things you might like to see in such an integration. So we'd really appreciate any feedback you have for this. KubeCon is coming up. KubeCon EU, which is in London. We'll be there. This is April 1st to the 4th, and we have a lot of stuff that we'll be doing in London as part of this event. So we're really, really excited. Always, KubeCon is a big deal for us. So really keen on seeing you. Please stop by our booth, which we will have. A lot of folks will be involved. Some familiar faces and names here. So we got Bob, Field CTO of Octopus Deploy, who's going to be speaking. We've also got our exclusive event that you can sign up for. So if you're all keen about joining us for drinks and appetizers and possibly a little bit of magic, so we're going to have a magician who's going to be joining us for an event that's going to be on April 3rd. So you can sign up there. We also have our always popular Jeopardy, which is going to be hosted by Dan Garfield, who's our VP of Open Source at Octopus Deploy. And this is going to be great. You're more than welcome to register your interest and possibly join us. That'd be great. And then at ArgoCon, which is kind of on the first day, we're going to have a bunch of activities around this. So we'll have Bob doing the sponsored keynote, a holistic approach to software delivery with Argo. We then have Regina joining Dag Bier Anderson talking about the hidden dangers of default, securing multi-tenant Argo CD installations. I would imagine Argo CD 3.0 will come up. We've got Dan with a session entitled "A Million Ways to Promote Changes Between Environments." Then we have Costas, who's going to be joined by Anastasia, auto scaling and progressive delivery, a match made in heaven. We've also got Dustin and Bob doing sessions at ArgoCon. We've got Kale and Bob doing another session. So Bob's all over this. He's going to have a lot of stuff there. You can check out all of this and more up on our event page for KubeCon NativeCon EU. Hope to see you there. And if you're all curious about seeing any other events, you can check out our events page, which is at /events. There you'll see the listing for DevOps Live, which is just before our KubeCon EU event. And that is on March 12th and 13th. So we'll be there. Both are at the XL London. Both are going to be a lot of fun, and we would love to see you there. So please, please, please stop by our booth and say hello. We also have a bunch of events coming up. You've got our Octopus 101 series occurring in March for each geo that we support. And something that we haven't listed yet, but it will be listed here shortly, is we're going to have a release party webinar for 2025.1. We're going to be scheduling this for sometime mid-March, and this will be basically a bunch of PMs, myself, and possibly some other engineers showing off all the latest and greatest features we have in Octopus. So that hasn't been listed yet, but stay tuned to this page for more information. We also have our Argo Unpacked webinar, which is also going to be coming up. This is a bi-weekly show, podcast, whatever you call it, hosted by Dan and Revital. And they're going to be talking, they're going to have a couple of special guests talking about Argo CD, I believe, in the next episode. So episode 2 is coming up. Make sure to check that out. Now, a couple of resources that I did want to mention. These are things that, were reminded of me when I was in NUSA talking to the engineering team. This and other sort of resources. I just want to bring up to your attention again that we have our Trust Center. You'll find us at trust.octopus.com. If you're at all interested in finding any resources related to compliance, etc., this is your one-stop shop for finding all of these resources. There you'll find SOC 2 compliance, ISO 27001, anything else, GDPR compliance, etc. All the resources are there. I love this page. It's awesome. Basically gives you one place to go for finding all this information. So again, that's the Trust Center at trust.octopus.com. Another resource that came up during my meetings in NUSA was this one, OctoLint. This is a tool that I had talked to Matt Casperson about a little bit. This is a video you can find up on YouTube talking about the tool itself. OctoLint's a great tool. Basically, it is a static analyzer for your Octopus instances. You basically point this tool at an Octopus instance, and it will tell you anything that violates against the rules engine that's built in. And so OctoLint's a great tool for that. And just to showcase what that looks like here, you can see this is a OctoLint run against a instance I have, which is here. So we have our samples instance, and this is a bit of an all-in-one sort of instance. So there's obviously some rule violations, maybe some variables aren't being used, which you'll see here. So you can see we have some unused rule variables that have been declared. We have some duplicated variables, for example. So these and other sort of options will be picked up by the rules engine and then not enforced, but caught by OctoLint. So you can basically do some things ahead of time and basically clean up your instances if necessary. So check that out, OctoLint. That's up on our GitHub page, which you'll find under the Octopus Solutions Engineering org, which is awesome. And that wraps up another Deploy on Friday. So thank you very much for joining us. Jim says hello. All the engineers say hello. I met all the engineers again. We met in NUSA, as I said before. About 160 of us were there. And it was great to chat with them. They're all saying hello. Say hello to everyone watching Deploy on Friday. So there you go. Anyways, on behalf of Jim and myself, happy deployments, everyone. Take care.